Our seventh grade reading group played The Christmas Carol.
It was Christmas time in London. There was a man named Ebenezer Scrooge. He was a hard-working man, but at the same time, he was a miserable, greedy, cruel, and stingy person who didn't know what generosity meant. A day before Christmas, Scrooge and his clerk, Bob Cratchit, were working in the office. Scrooge, as always, was counting his money, while Bob was counting the minutes to go home to his family.
I'm so cold in this office, but Mr. Scrooge doesn't want to turn on the heater. Said that it's a waste of money.
Suddenly, the front door opened, and Mr. Scrooge's nephew came inside.
Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Christmas? Bah! Christmas is only a lie.
You don't mean that, Uncle.
Of course I mean that. Christmas is just an excuse not to work. And besides, what reason do you have to be happy? You're so poor.
And what reason do you have to be so sad? You're so rich.
Bah.
Don't get angry, Uncle.
Why wouldn't I? I live in a crazy world with fools. Merry Christmas? What is Christmas? Christmas is just a time to pay bills with money you don't have, where you see yourself a year older and not a minute richer. A time where you buy gifts you can't afford.
But Uncle,
Nephew, go celebrate Christmas your own way, and let me celebrate my way.
Uncle, I know there's some things I didn't do right, some things I didn't take advantage of. And one of those things is Christmas. Christmas is the only day where people seem to get along just fine. It's time for forgiveness, love, and charity. It's a time where people open their hearts to one another. Maybe Uncle Christmas hasn't given me a gold or silver coin, but it does good to me. That's why I say, blessed be Christmas.
Wow, what a wonderful speech. I wonder why you don't work for the government.
Don't get angry, Uncle.
Nephew? Christmas? What is Christmas?
But why, Uncle?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love? Have a nice day.
You never came to my house before, and now you're using my marriage as an excuse. That's not fair.
Have a nice day.
I don't need anything from you. I don't ask you for something. Why can't we be friends?
Have a nice day.
I see you already took a decision, but I insist on celebrating Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Have a nice day, a Happy New Year, and goodbye.
As you wish. And Bob, have a Merry Christmas.
I was saying to you, goodbye.
Then Mr. Scrooge's nephew left the office.
How about that? A clerk who earns minimal salary with a wife and kids talking about Merry Christmas? You must be crazy.
Sir, I finished copying all letters and I filed all the paperwork. I brought in more firewood to sweep out the ashes, and well, it's clothing time, Mr. Scrooge.
Fine. If your work is finished, you can go now.
Mr. Scrooge, tomorrow's Christmas, a day to spend with family.
You'd like the day off, I suppose?
Well, yes, after all, it is Christmas.
Christmas. Bah. Fine. Take tomorrow off. But be here early the next day.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Humbug.
Scrooge opened the door, and Cratchit went home. Then Scrooge returned to his desk to finish his accounts. After a few hours, Scrooge closed the account books and proceeded to close the office. When he got home, he climbed the steps to his bedroom, sat in a chair beside the fire, and started to eat his supper. Suddenly, he heard old bells ringing, and a strange and loud noise came from the outside.
Who's making that noise? I must have fallen asleep.
But the strange noise continued until he saw a ghost coming through the bedroom door.
I think I'm dreaming.
No, this is not a dream.
I know you. You are Marley. What do you want from me?
I want a lot from you. Do you see these chains? I'm changing my sins.
What sins? You were a hard worker and a good businessman.
Businessman, I took advantage of people. While I was alive, I never learned the value of love and charity. Now I have to wander the earth, unable to find peace. Hear me, Scrooge. I am here tonight to warn you. You still have the opportunity to change. And if you don't, the same fate awaits you. Listen well, Scrooge. 3 spirits will visit you. The first will arrive tomorrow when the clock strikes 1. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. Expect the third on the next night at the last turn of the 12th hour.
Then the ghost left the room, floating through the window. Scrooge closed the window and went to bed shaking in fear, and fell asleep. The next day, when the clock struck 1, Scrooge saw a strange creature beside his bed.
Who are you?
I'm the ghost of Christmas past. Get out of bed and come with me.
The ghost took Scrooge through time to a small town, which Scrooge started to remember. He then remembered the houses, the church, the river, the bridge, and the people.
They cannot see us or hear us. They are shadows from the past.
Look, the school is not that empty. There's a little boy, alone, forgotten by his friends. I know him.
Poor boy. Now let's see another Christmas.
Then they arrived to a house.
Oh, this seems familiar. This is my house, where I grew up.
Yes, it is. And do you recognize that little boy sitting alone reading?
It's me, as a child. But why is he alone?
You must know the answer.
It's because my parents were always working. That's why I was always alone. That's why my Christmases were so sad and lonely.
Yes, now let's see another Christmas.
No, go away. Don't torture me.
Don't blame me. I told you, these are just shadows from the things that have been.
Take me back.
We have one more stop.
And they appeared in a garden. Scrooge was now a young man, who was sitting in a garden beside a lovely young woman. The woman was crying.
I can't marry you, Ebenezer. There's something you love more than me.
Nonsense. I love no other woman.
That's true. You love money. You love it more than anything.
There's nothing wrong with loving money. We got engaged when we were poor, and we were happy being poor.
I hope you're happy with the life you have chosen.
And the woman ran away from the garden. Old Scrooge and the ghost followed her. When she stopped, Scrooge could see that she was a few years older. Children laughed and played at her feet. A little girl threw her arms around the woman.
Help me tie my bonnet, Mother.
Are they her children?
Yes, they are, but they could have been yours.
The door opened and a man entered carrying many gifts.
Father!
They ran to him and hugged him. The man laughed and gave them the gifts. Then he hugged his wife.
Stop! Take me home!
And Scrooge appeared in his own bedroom.
Thank goodness. It was just a dream.
Then the clock struck.
No, Ebenezer, it was not a dream.
I suppose you are the ghost of Christmas present.
Yes, I am. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. Come with me. Hurry. We cannot be late.
Scrooge touched the hem of the spirit's robe. The bedroom vanished, and Scrooge found himself on a busy, snowy street. There were many people shopping for last-minute gifts. The stores were still open, people were cooking their best meals, and the bells from the church were striking. Everybody was attending church wearing their best clothes. Everybody was happy.
Everybody looks so happy.
Yes, they are. It's Christmas. What did you expect?
Do you mean that all these people are happy just because it's December 25th?
Yes, today they can just forget about their problems and enjoy spending time with their family. They just enjoy the food on their plate and the many blessings they receive.
Then the ghost took Scrooge to Bob Cratchit's house, and standing there at the door, the ghost proceeded to bless the house. Then Scrooge saw Bob Cratchit playing with his children, 3 boys and 2 girls.
Is this where he lives?
Of course, with his salary, this is all he can afford.
Then Mrs. Cratchit entered into the dining room, carrying a small turkey on a platter.
They look so poor. Their clothes are so old.
Love is what you can feel here.
Bob Cratchit lifted the youngest boy from a chair in the corner and carried him to the table. The boy was pale and thin and carried a crutch.
What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he walk?
He's very sick. His name is Tiny Tim. His parents don't have enough money for a doctor, so maybe he will die.
Die? But there must be something that can be done. Please, tell me he will die.
I see an empty chair in the future. If it's not changed, he will certainly die.
No, no!
What do you care anyway? That'll diminish the world population.
At that moment, Scrooge realized that those were his own words and felt sorry for himself. Then he heard his name.
Mrs. Scrooge. Thanks to Mrs. Scrooge for having this wonderful dinner.
I know, darling. I wish I could see him to thank him personally.
Dear children, it's Christmas.
I hope he has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Let's have a toast for our Christmas and for Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas and God bless us all.
Meanwhile, it was getting late. The ghost took Scrooge through different places so he could see how people celebrated Christmas. People who nevertheless were poor, as Scrooge used to say. They were happy and enjoyed being together with their families and friends. Suddenly, without a warning, they stood in a room.
I know that voice. It's my nephew. He's having a party.
He said Christmas is only a lie.
He should be ashamed.
He's very funny, but not a pleasant person.
You told me he's very rich.
So what, darling? His wealth is useless. He doesn't do anything with his money.
He didn't come to eat with us tonight because he's too busy counting his money.
He preferred to be angry at us than have fun with us.
They don't like me.
No, unless the future changes.
How can I change the future?
The room disappeared, and they continued their journey. They visited many countries, they traveled to faraway lands, they visited the sick people who felt happy, poor people who felt rich, shelters where people felt hope. It was a long night, and everything happened in just one night. Then the ghost of Christmas present was gone.
Thank goodness. I'm in my own bed again.
As he sat up, another ghost floated into the room. He was dressed in black, and a dark hood hid his face.
First came the ghost of Christmas past, and then the ghost of Christmas present. You must be the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Are you here to show me the future and how it can change?
The ghost said nothing. He just gestured toward the door. Scrooge followed him to the street in front of his office. 2 men stood out front, talking and shaking their heads.
I know these men. I do business with them. These men like me, even if my own nephew doesn't. But what are they saying about me?
Poor old Scrooge.
I know, I feel sorry for him.
They told me he was very sick.
Who's taking care of him?
No one, you know he loved to be alone.
He doesn't have any friends either.
The ghost started walking, and Scrooge followed him down the street. Then they arrived to a tiny house.
We've been here before. This is Cratchit's house.
The ghost took Scrooge into the bedroom. There was Mr. Bob Cratchit sitting beside his son's bed. He was very sick.
Why is he crying? The last time we were here, they were so happy.
Sleeping in bed was a little kid. He was thinner and very pale. Mrs. Cratchit came into the bedroom.
Darling, did you ask Mr. Scrooge for help?
Yes, but he can't. But his nephew will.
I hope it's not too late.
What will we do without our son?
Why? What's wrong? Is he going to die? Please, talk to me.
The ghost did not answer. Then everything turned dark, and Scrooge appeared in a foggy and cold place.
Where are we? This is a graveyard. Why did you bring me here?
The ghost showed Scrooge a grave.
Before I get near that grave, tell me, is this the image of what will be, or just the image of what can be?
The ghost did not answer. Then Scrooge went to see the grave. Engraved on the headstone was the name Ebenezer Scrooge. Then Scrooge fell to his knees.
No, ghost. Why do you show me all this if I have not lost all hope? I will honor Christmas. I will live in the past, the present, and in the future. I will not forget all the lessons the ghosts have taught me. Oh, please tell me I can erase my name from that grave.
In his anguish, he took the ghost's hand, but the ghost rejected him, and Scrooge woke up in his bed.
Thank goodness, I've been given another chance. I don't know what day is today or how long I've been with the ghost. I feel like a child, but I don't care. I want to be a child again.
Then he heard the church bells striking. Then he saw a boy in the street and shouted,
Hey, you there. What day is today?
It's Christmas, sir, Christmas morning.
Oh, good, I haven't missed it.
Then he pulled a bag of money, and he tossed the handful of coins to the boy.
There's a turkey down the street in the butcher shop window. Buy it and deliver it to Bob Cratchit's house.
But sir, this isn't a lot of money.
Keep the change. Now hurry up. The Cratchits are hungry.
Yes, sir.
Little boy,
Yes, sir.
have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir, and a Merry Christmas to you, too.
Scrooge dressed in his finest clothes and headed toward his nephew's house. He was feeling really happy and excited. He waved to everybody in the street and treated everybody nicely.
Hey, little boy, here's some money. Go buy some Christmas candy.
Thank you, sir.
When Scrooge reached his nephew's house, his nephew was surprised to see him.
Uncle, I'm so happy to see that you changed your mind about Christmas dinner. Come and celebrate the holiday with us.
Yes, thank you for accepting me.
We're so happy to have you. You're just in time for turkey.
After dinner, Scrooge said a few words.
Thank you. I have never eaten a more delicious meal, but I have some other places to be and people to see.
And Scrooge headed to Bob Cratchit's house. Mrs. Cratchit opened the door, and she couldn't believe her eyes when she saw Mr. Scrooge standing in front of her.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, what a wonderful surprise. I want to thank you for the wonderful turkey.
It was a pleasure for me.
Mrs. Scrooge, please come in.
Cratchit, you've worked long hours for many years without complaining. I am going to raise your salary and help you support your family.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. You are so generous.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge did more than what he said he would do. He took care of Tiny Tim as a second father would do. Some people laughed to see how he had changed, but he didn't care. Scrooge never saw the ghosts again, but he had many friends and was always close to his family. Each time he had a meal with his friends and family, he would say,
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.